Did you guys see this Freddie Couples quote? The Freddie Couples Phil Mickelson bout is something I did not see coming.
I think we've
Freddie
got the
Couples
yeah.
Freddie Couples goes out to so Freddie Couples reveals that Brooks Koepka wants to return to the PGA Tour. He says, "I talk to Brooks Koepka all the time. I love Brooks Koepka, and I'm not going to say anything," which is a hilarious thing to say as he's about to say a whole nother part of this. "I'm not going to say anything except I talk to him all the time. He wants to come back. I will say that I believe he really wants to come back and play the tour." And then Phil Mickelson responds to this quote and says, "If it's not true, he damaged a relationship which he cares about. If it is true, he took away Brooks' control of the timeline and narrative. Either way, this is a low-class jerk move by Fred." So, you got two legends of the game. You got Phil Mickelson and Freddie Couples kind of jawing at it right now for Brooks Koepka. I don't think anyone's surprised that Brooks Koepka wants to come back. He was at TGL the other night. He's buddies with all these guys. You saw it in the Full Swing season 2, where he was just like in a bad spot, like being like, "I wish I was out there with those guys," and making little comments here and there. And you don't really see too much about him on Live, but I just thought this was a very funny back and forth. Freddie Couples always finding himself in the mix right now with this Live versus PGA stuff, as if he's like, he's like the overseer of PGA Tour communications on like what guys want, what guys don't want.
I just love how he'll say whatever and he just doesn't care. Like that jives really well with like the way that I am. Like guys who know me well, like I'll say pretty well anything that's on my mind. And I think from Phil Mickelson's perspective, like that guy doesn't care what kind of click it is as long as it's a click, like
Right.
he is controversial on purpose. I mean, everything from his coffee stunt to the thumbs up to, all of these things that he does in public. I think he wants to he's on a quest to become, one of the most talked about figures in golf, regardless of how much or how little or how well he does on the golf course. I just don't think he loves just being in the news, like
Yeah,
I think
that's very true.
that's his sort of like, he likes being involved in these things and, he seems to love a good public debate. So, um, I don't know. We'll see if Freddie wants to oblige, but it would be nice to see a public battle, maybe like a celebrity boxing match between the two or something. You know what I mean? Like that seems to be the fad at the time. You
I
got a
did see
Twitter
that
beef. Let's get in the ring.
that'd be nice. I did see that Phil did end up deleting that tweet. So but then that's a whole other news cycle of like, oh wow, Phil deleted the tweet. What does that mean? And now people are talking. I think you bring up a good point. Phil loves just being talked about, positive or negative. I don't think he cares. I mean, a big part of, he obviously jumped to Live and wanted that to be successful. And it actually ended up being a pretty good move. And he wanted to be the smartest guy in the room, being like, I did this because it was the right move. And, I would love to see Freddie versus Phil in whatever competition they want to do, whether that be a golf match, a boxing match, even just a debate. Like we get them on a stage and just have them do a full-fledged political debate. That is something I think we all would watch. But I really just think Brooks probably does want to come back to the tour. Like he took that money, that Live money, at a time where he was hurt. He was like, I don't know what my future is going to be like. He obviously ended up getting healthy and won a major again. But like, I would say he is one of the top guys who's like, yeah, I wish we could all just play together again because he's a competitor. He loves that. So maybe Fred was talking out of school. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think Phil calling Fred a jerk is very, very funny and whatever. That's kind of what it is.